Now, I mentioned before that not all knives are created equal, right? They're all made of different elements, if you will. You have stainless steel, you have high carbon steel, and then you have Damascus, and you have all these other knives, right? If you're just a weekend warrior and you go out to the field once a month or whatever, hey, it probably doesn't even matter. If you're an avid outdoors person like I am, it matters. And cutting tools is going to be incredibly important because it's going to be your number one tool in that environment that will allow you to be successful or not. And so in this video, we're going to talk about cutting tools. We're going to talk about the different types, what to look for, and my top 5 tools that I would bring with me anywhere I go. So stay tuned. In this video, we're going to be talking about the cutting tools themselves, why you might need them, and the different types that make them unique for their specific jobs. Think of it like building a team, right? Everybody has a specific role on this team in order to be successful. This is no different. Every knife is geared or made to accomplish a specific task. Every knife is different. And so I don't ever claim to be an expert. This is just after my many experiences of being a professional homeless person in the military, special forces, being deployed and stuff, the tools that I've used to be successful and the tools that I continue to use as I continue to teach fieldcraft, bushcraft, things of that sort. When it comes to picking out your first knife, a lot of times it's shooter's choice. You don't know what you don't know. So there's 10 billion videos and reviews of every knife under the sun, right? If you find a knife you like, it's in your price range, it's pretty, whatever, and buy it. And then when you buy it, get out and use it and make sure it does exactly what it is that you want. And we'll talk about a simple way to do that in a later video. The different categories that I have are everyday carry, right? EDC. That's what I'm going to have on me all the time, every day, no matter what. I'm going to the gas station, going to the mall, whatever. And some of those might look like, that I carry with me is I just carry a simple folding knife, simple folding pocket knife. Goes in my pocket. And then another couple examples are multi-tools, right? How many times have you ever been somewhere and you're like, man, I wish I would have had a pair of pliers or a saw or a nail file, right? Another knife is you have your belt knives, right? Belt knives come in all different shapes, sizes, whatever. It just depends on what you're looking for, right? So for example, we have this kind of belt knife, which this is actually a Swiss Tech, but this is a nice little field knife. Works pretty well, pretty sharp. It's got about a 3.5 inch, 4 inch blade on it. Nothing too fancy. It doesn't have a Scandinavian grind on it. It has a saber grind. Okay, and all the saber grind is it's a bigger Scandinavian grind. Okay, but we'll talk more about that shortly. This one in particular comes with a mini ferrule rod. Works pretty well. Not bad. I got it at Walmart just to test out. Not too expensive. Another belt knife is I have my basic hunter knife, hunting style knife that I make in my shop. This is my Nimki, which is an Algonquin word for hunter, and fixed blade, full tang knife. Can use it for a multitude of different things. Okay. Another belt knife that I carry with me that I actually made again in my shop is my Bushcraft survival knife. This is named the Ogcheda. Don't get so hung up on the name, it's not a big deal. This is just a survival knife. About a 3.5 inch blade, 3.5 inch to 4 inch handle, G10 handles that's textured with good firm grip. Carry it on my belt. So I have it whenever I need it. Again, full tang knife. We'll talk more about tangs and grind styles here in a bit. Now, along with that is I'll also have a backup knife, right? A knife that I can just quickly put in my pocket or hang from my neck, and that's what this guy is. A little Swiss Tech knife that I was just field testing, but I really like it. I mean, it's so small and compact, and what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to just go ahead and tie some 550 cord or paracord around there so I can hang it around my neck like so. So if I'm doing work around the campsite, I have a knife readily available right here. I don't go walking with it. I don't go trekking with it around my neck. I just put it on my neck right here while I'm doing stationary work around the camp. But this is a nice little knife. And then I have saws. Okay, and these come in a variety of different sizes and forms. This one's broken, but it still works. This is really handy to keep and very, very useful. Okay, so just some good tools to have around the campsite so you can process some firewood. Obviously, you're not going to take down a huge tree, but you know, decent sized trees so you can get some firewood. Muy critical if you're in a cold weather environment. And then lastly, you have choppers. Okay, choppers is you have it's just what it is. It's your axe. Not only your axe, but if you have a pretty beefy knife like this guy right here that you can use to baton wood with and just mash the crap out of. This one I don't even know where it came from, but I've had it for a number of years. It's a stainless steel knife. I have no idea who makes it. It says Raider on it. I have no idea who makes it. It's got a it also has a saber grind with a false edge on it, and I have paracord on the handle because as I was batoning it, the plastic handles shattered. So there's that. Now remember, we said like it's like building a team, right? So you have all of your different cutting tools and they all serve different purposes and have different jobs. In the instance of my everyday carry, my folding knife, you know, it's good to have. I can whittle with it. It can help me make traps. It can help me with notches. It can help me do a lot of processing. But one thing to consider is that it's not a full tang knife, okay? This is a full tang knife where it's one solid piece of steel, okay? It's not a skeleton tang, okay? Skeleton tang have holes within the handle, whether it's covered up or not, in order to reduce the weight of the knife. This is one solid piece of steel, meaning I can mash the crap out of this and not risk destroying it. Another knife that you might come across is a partial tang. Okay, partial tang means that the tang only comes a small bit inside of the handle. In my opinion, the same as having a folding knife. Okay, you have a partial tang, you get in there and you're just going to start twisting around. Eventually it's going to break. Or if you're trying to baton wood and you hit it right there, it's going to break it. Is it going to break it the first time? Probably not, but it will wear over time. So with my recommendation, I would focus on full tang knives just because you can't go wrong with a full tang knife. Now let's talk about different grinds. We have a series of different grinds right here. And again, it just depends on what you're trying to do. For choppers, you're gonna see mostly convex grinds, okay? Convex grinds meaning that you have really fat to really narrow right there, and that's so it can split through the material. Again, okay. You can have your saber grinds, which means that it offers a much finer cutting grind, and then you get the fatter portion that allows you to help split through wood if you were batoning wood, much like on your Scandinavian grinds, which only come up a wee bit and then leave the rest of the material there in order to process whatever it is that you're working on. Now your Scandi grinds or your Scandinavian grinds, or even your saber grinds for that matter, are excellent bushcraft knives. You can beat the hell out of them and they're gonna be good. And they're incredibly easy to sharpen. However, they're also prone to dull a lot faster than a flat grind. So just keep that in mind. And then you have a full grind, which means from the tip to the spine is just all ground out, nice and clean, no grind lines, right? But now with your flat grinds, it's gonna be versatile use for general purposes, whether it be kitchen work or woodwork, what have you. And it's gonna be easy to sharpen. However, you're not gonna be able to use it for robust tasks such as chopping. This one is more of a stabby because of the tip, the clip point, as it were. Mostly like, this is like a Bowie style knife, okay? But all jokes aside, the benefit to having a Bowie style knife is that especially with the flat grind, is that it's just a general use knife. This knife right here, we would has a drop point, and that means that the point just comes to a point, right? It's not curved up, it's not shoveled out, it just comes to a point. And what's really good about this one is you can get into a material and really start to bore it out. Similarly, you have on this knife a kind of a clip point on it, just right here on the very end, where it's just a really dramatic drop down into a fine point. Again, just so, and it has this false edge right here, so it kind of takes away material at the top, so that you can really get in there and really start shoveling and scooping out. The con to that is that because you reduce that material so much towards the tip becomes a lot weaker than the rest of the knife. So just keep that in mind as well. Your drop point is going to be the style that is most versatile, and contrary to a clip point, you still have a lot of that material coming into that point, right? And so your point is going to be a lot stronger than a clip point. It can still perform the same tasks, etc., and it's good for just a general use knife. Other styles of grinds that are not listed here would be a hollow grind. In a hollow grind, you'd find them mostly on like fillet knives or chef knives, where you really just need to have that fine cut, right? All right, so we talked about different grinds, we talked about different tangs, okay? And we talked about the different categories. My 5 different categories being EDC, a belt knife, backup knife, a saw, and a chopper. Everybody has their roles, everybody has their jobs. So if you can't figure out, I got 5 categories. The 5 items that I would take with me on any survival, outdoor, fieldcraft, bushcraft, hunting, whatever experience, is I would have my saw. The next knife that I would have, or the next tool that I would have, a multi-tool. Number 3 is going to be my backup or my neck knife right here. All of the knives that I make, there's a link in the description. You can go ahead and pick them up yourself. I'm always looking for people willing to give me field reviews, tell me what can be better, what can be worse, or not worse. But also, as a thanks to you, I also offer affiliate program. So if you like the knife and you want to promote that knife, I offer 10% commission on all knives that get sold, and you get through your unique link. So anyways, again, this one that I can wear as a neck knife doing stationary work, or can keep it as a backup. I always have a hatchet with me for obvious reasons, because it's a hatchet. And then lastly, but not least, and I might be a little biased just because I really love how this knife turned out, is my survival knife. Okay, that's my belt knife. This one can do everything that I need it to do. So anyways, thanks for sticking with me through this little video talking about how to build your team, essentially, with your cutting tools. The next video, part 2 of this series, is we're going to talk about how to actually use them safely. Remember, the safest way to use a knife is to not use a knife. But if you got to use a knife, then we'll show you how to use it safely. So stay tuned.